Ah, it's morning again. Coffee. Funny how that works. You go to sleep, you wake up, it's morning. Oh, boy. So, I want to talk a little bit about music today. And I want to try not to meander all over the place. Meander is like when a stream, instead of going straight, it does all these little squigglies, and that's called meandering. Or in conversation, when you wander off into a lot of things, which I do all the time. But this is really about music. But before, I want to make one comment. I'm not going on a political rant, but the last one I did, I talked about the Great Wall in China, and then I talked about Donald Trump's Great Wall, which was supposed to cover the southern border, and an epilogue to that, and I'll move on. I'm not going political. Just this one epilogue. He didn't build very much wall at all. And some of it actually fell down. The Chinese wall is thousands of years old, and it's a tourist attraction. Donald Trump's wall, some of it actually fell down because it rained too much. The one that's still standing, the kids on either side use it as a game to see who can get over it the quickest. Okay, see, I'm done with that. What more could I say, right? I could say a lot more. I won't. They still want to build. Oh, okay. Here, music. Get that out of here. Ready? Okay, music, right? So, here. See, Bob Dylan, Highway 61. These, I'm not putting on a costume of Bob Dylan. I've had these since 1980. 1980, right? Whew, forget about it. Like 42 years. They were vintage when I bought them. It was an award to myself for I came back from Mexico from a lot of years, and I came back to New York, and I bought these as a gift to myself for having somehow come back to America, which went chaotic very quickly. So I'm done, right? Okay. Bob Dylan did not give me these glasses. In fact, I didn't get along well with him at all. But I love his music. You know, like Johnny's in the basement mixing up the medicine. I'm on the pavement thinking about the government. Man in a trench coat, knocked off, laid off, said he got paid off, said he got a bad cough. Look out, kid, it's something he did, God knows when, but he did it. You see what I'm saying? Who can channel that kind of brilliance? All right, so the Ramones, totally other kind of brilliance. You can't compare Bob Dylan to the Ramones and vice versa. But a lot of people don't understand the Ramones. That's their business. Everybody has their taste. You can't argue taste. But this is the Ramones from their very last tour. After 20 years of touring, this was their last tour in the mid-90s, and we went. They had a date at the Academy, which is a small theater. And if you've never seen the Ramones live, you don't understand 3/4 of what the Ramones is about, because their music is hard to take if you don't like that kind of thing. But if you can take it, oh my God. But then if you go to the theater and you see them live, and you see Joey in the middle, and then Johnny comes forward with his Moss-Right guitar, looking like the meanest son of a bitch in the world, and plays a rhythm guitar and people say, well, he's a 3-chord band. They don't know shit about music. Johnny Ramone started playing electric guitar when he was 7 in Germany. No, here in the United States. That was Dee Dee. Dee Dee in Germany wasn't playing. Dee Dee was just being weird. Johnny started playing in Queens when he was like 7 or 8 years old. He was in a band already when he was 11. All right, I'm done with that. The Ramones. Fantastic. So what am I talking about? Music. Here's what happened. I end up arguing with people about music. Not whether they like it or not. I don't care if you like one thing or another. It's none of my business. I like talking about music. I like talking about art, and I like talking about literature, because literature and art and music have been the center of my life since I was a child, and saved my life from living in the world I live in. But the deal is, when I talk about music, we started arguing about what the music means, and I don't understand that. And I got into an argument lately with three different people. None of them know each other. It was unrelated. And we were arguing about what the music meant and what it said. And then I realized, I said, well, have you read the lyrics? Turns out they hadn't. And I said, well, why don't you read the lyrics and we'll continue. After they read the lyrics, one of them said, God, I never read the lyrics before. I never realized. And the other one said, no, I never read the lyrics before. And gee, and the other was like, well, now that I read it, and I'm like, okay. So I go back to the 60s. That's when we would go out and buy an album. And you come home to your apartment or wherever you're living, and you take the cellophane off the cover. And it feels special. It's like the cover is designed, whatever the cover picture is, and you all, any of you who are from the time when there were LPs, remember the pictures. And they mean a lot to you. And you open it up and there's pictures of the band and there's comments, and then there's the lyrics. And you'd either read the lyrics and then listen to the music, or listen to music and then read the lyrics, or read the lyrics while the music's playing and you read the lyrics. Now, you may translate the lyrics differently than I. That's fine. I have no problem with your opinion, even though I'm usually more right. Nonetheless, you read the lyrics. So the people who read the lyrics to music don't hear the music in the same way, because when you listen to the music, a lot of times the lyrics don't even matter. It is the music, because when you listen to music, the vehicle of music means it's first music, and it has to be. The same with art. Now, you can argue with me on that. I feel that if it's literature, the first thing you're doing is reading. If it's music, you're listening to music. And if it's visual art, you're looking. Those are the first things that should function. Fine, that's great. But it was amazing encountering these arguments, and they got very heated. Well, everything with me is heated. I don't know what's wrong with me. Well, I do, but I kind of like it, to tell you the truth. So I'm going to wind this up, because we've been trying to keep these short, and I tend to philosophize, and then my mind goes off in 1,000 different directions, and that's the way my mind works. It's like a jukebox, and it plays itself. So I'll stop right there. Good.